Brandon Ingram has 11 points with 5 rebounds and 3 assists as Team USA beats Team Puerto Rico. Let's recap Brandon's night.
First took away. Yes, but this extra money's worth out.
This is sponsored by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Propels Talk, located at 918 Poitiers Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413. Jarrett Leto, late night tonight. Jarrett, let's just start with you. What did you think of Brandon's overall performance tonight?
It was okay. I mean, I didn't think much of it. I like to see him shooting a lot of threes. I think that was a plus. I mean, most of his shots were threes, so cool. I think again, this is they've been at this a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
White Sox. Strike three. Won't be down looking. He does not like that.
Okay,
that was me.
It's all good. No, it's like you turned it back on. Okay, cool. I just think like a guy like that and on a team like this, it's gonna be kind of difficult to kind of find a rhythm at this point. But it's gonna come with time. I can see where his shots are gonna come from, but it's just depending on if guys are gonna see. Like there was a couple times where he could have had another attempt, right? I think Mikal Bridges got an offensive board, and then he shot some dumbass turnaround jumper. I was like, bro, you could like Brandon gave up an extra pass to Jalen Brunson, and like it's got to be the extra pass. And I think these guys have to kind of gel at that. Like that takes time. I mean, you can say it as much as you want, but that takes time to kind of work through.
Yeah, I don't really like the way Brunson plays, but we're getting into that a little bit later. But Lito, I mean, the one thing that did stand out to me, a couple stats, Brandon takes 5 3-point attempts tonight, which is a great number for him. You'd like to see that in the regular season with the Pelicans, but also 2 blocks. I thought defensively he was pretty active tonight.
Yeah, he was engaged. He was in the stance. I mean, that shit was bad basketball. Like, I don't really have much to, much to offer as far as like Brandon looked decent. I think you said the over under. You asked me the over under yesterday, and I think I said 10 points.
Yeah, 11 exactly.
I mean, I don't. That they don't. There's no cohesiveness to it yet. Jalen Brunson got it. He got to come off the ball, dog.
I mean, Jared, we were texting about it. There's just no flow when he's got the ball, man. I mean, it is dribble after dribble after dribble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's kind of hard to like pull yourself out of like what you've done during the regular season and kind of transition to now. Like a lot of guys, I think not Trey Murray. I'm sorry. What's the dude in Atlanta? Trae Young, right? Like Trae Young, like a guy like that playing on a team like this, and it was like a lot of kind of hoopla. Like Trae Young's a really good basketball player. He probably deserves to play on a team like this, but his style doesn't necessarily flow. But if you give a guy like Jalen Brunson that same opportunity, although he played at Villanova, although he played with Mikal Bridges, although he played with Josh Hart, all these things are true. But the way he plays with the Knicks it doesn't kind of work with a team like this. Like he doesn't get everybody involved. Like he kind of looks for his shot first. When he has the ball in his hand, he probably should look for everybody else to be involved first.
Go ahead, Lito. I completely agree, Fab.
I was gonna say Luka scoring that man. Luka scoring him. He never knew when he was gonna get a shot. So now that he's free, he just shooting that shit.
I mean, I felt like he didn't do a great job tonight. I mean, Anthony Edwards, on the other hand, I like the way he plays, man. He's a hell of a player.
He looked like Jordan. He looked like Jordan's son. Like he really does. Like if there was a person that was like, I know who your daddy is, it'd be Anthony Edwards.
He cut the hair and everything. He cut his hair, changed his number. Like
he looked
trying to tell us without telling us.
2 + 3.
He looked pretty good. Did you, Lito? Were you kind of disappointed how many touches Brandon got tonight? I mean, do you think that's just going to be like what it's going to look like? For the next
how many shots did Brandon get?
He had 7, right? But Jared, I mean, I can't remember too many, where he got like positive, touches, right? Where like, it was. I think they fed him like in the short corner one time. He turned around and made like a a reverse layup got fouled, but there were never any looks like that. Never down screens, things like that.
Let me say this. I think Five said this yesterday, and I kind of repeated this on Chris's podcast. It's AAU basketball. It's a individual showcase of let me see it. You know what I'm saying? Like let me get me. Then when I get the rhythm, you'll get you. But the one thing that I did see from Brandon, I took the contact going to the goal. He looked strong as hell.
Does he look bigger?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's
like you seen the weight room.
Like basketball strong. Like, nah, that ain't gonna work. Like, even if you foul me, I'm gonna get the shot out. Like that's what it looked like. You know what's crazy? Can we talk about things that I actually do like for about this team rather than things we don't like?
That's fair.
Tyrese Halliburton, bro. It's all like this game is like FIBA basketball is like made for him. I think he could play like at any level, right? Like although it'd be the NBA, it's the highest level, but he can play on any team. Like he makes basketball look fun. A coin
he really
flip
does.
Man, it's like a coin flip. That's all I keep thinking about. Tremont Waters got Mikal Bridges on super skates. Like he had a lot of people on skates. Like, dude, we watched him hoop at LSU. Like he can really go. Hope he gets another shot at the NBA. But like these types of games, I actually like to see players that we probably watched in college and hoop against other NBA talent. Like, oh no, they can go. It's just having that opportunity.
Yeah, another guy that I really liked, Austin Reeves. I thought he looked really good tonight, man. He's a good player, smooth. He's added to his game. He's a good player.
That boy Austin Reeves good.
Yeah, man.
That boy good as hell.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, LeBron raises like the stock of guys. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I'm gonna say this about Jackson Hayes too. Watch. If it's just being around good basketball helps you, man. Especially if you want to be good.
Greatness, man. Greatness begets greatness.
Yeah, man.
You got to raise your level to be around that type of shit every day.
Yeah. What'd y'all think of Jaren Jackson?
I like Jaren Jackson.
He's a solid player.
I really like when he. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I just the fact that he plays five and he roams, big body, can finish around the rim, ambidextrous. I mean, I don't love his jumper the way it looks, but it's effective. So
shoot like you got a book sack on. I feel like I like Jaren when he's not. I like Jaren when he shoots about maybe 3 threes a game, and when he uses his sizes and advantage in the post. Like he had a couple plays where he took the contact and he went up, made a beautiful left hand off the glass layup, like 2 jump hooks in a row, and then he resorted back to the 3-point line.
Man, I like the way he looked tonight. Go ahead, Five.
I like Paolo at the 5 too.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
Dog. Paulo's so strong and fast. Like I don't. Like his speed at that size is like it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
my bad. Just
no, you're good, man. I was just thinking, man. Like I remember, like the knock on this team was they don't have a lot of size at the 5. I'm like, Jaren Jackson's gonna be fine. I mean, he'll be just fine. I mean, the rim protection.
He's gonna fall out. He's gonna let's be clear.
But I also think that I also wanted to see a little bit of Walker Kessler, and I know he got there in late in the 4th, but I'm interested to see what he looks like too.
Bob Portis is
Oh yeah, Bobby Portis. That was
Bob looked like the dude that cut my neighbor grass, but like man, Bob got game. You saw him. He had a couple fader turnaround jumpers. The hell.
I'm trying to get him in here. Chris Connor joined the show. Chris, what's going on, man?
What's good, Joe?
What'd you think about Brandon tonight?
Hold on,
like a blue guy.
Wait a second. What? You just came from the mod? You just left the mod?
There's a lot going on right now, man.
you just left the. You just did this. You had the prayer.
You don't like my collarless polo, brother?
Nah, bro. Hold on. It's short sleeve too?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought about buttoning it all the way to the top. I was probably like too much, so I just,
That dude pray 5 times a day for sure.
Chris,
Straight out of Philly, huh?
What's up, gentlemen?
What'd you think of Brandon's performance?
We don't want no bean pies.
All right. Time out. I'm not letting Gordon Hayward. I'm not letting the hood redneck. I'm not letting. I'm not letting brother up there with the gas station T-shirt talk anything to me. No. Nah. Anyway, to answer your question, that was crazy. I just got attacked. You know what I mean? I ain't even chance to warm up yet. Pause. Now. Anyway, Justin, you laughing too hard. Comb your head. Now. What was the question?
What'd you think of Brandon Ingram?
He got jumped like those people. He got jumped like the man in Alabama.
You gotta fight back, man. Now, he looked like a dude that if Zion Williamson is healthy, he should enjoy playing basketball with. Lining up in the corner, doing all the extra stuff. Looked like I saw glue guy Brandon Ingram all over, like filling up the box score. The defense was there, the effort was there, the rebounding, just doing all the extra things.
Yep.
I
thought he was pretty engaged tonight defensively. We were just talking about that, Chris. He had 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. What did you think about his 3-point attempts? I mean, he had 5 of them tonight. It's something you want to see.
Man, he listen. I mean, it feels like the remedy. I mean, it feels like a nice recipe to bring it to New Orleans, bring it to the Smoothie King Arena. I'm curious what this type of style, him being off ball, is going to do for the guy that pulls up for the regular season. Does he revert back to what he's also very, very good at? Or how much does playing in this setting, in this style, like those are the things that I'm thinking of watching him shoot. What was it, like 8 threes? What is that going to look like? How is that going to benefit his career? You know what I mean? His day-to-day job with this particular team. Those are the things that I'm thinking about. Because he's lining up in the corner. You saw a lot of sets with Zion being there, being in the corner, like things that made a lot of sense. He was great in transition. Yeah.
You think Herb is rubbing off on BI? I mean, I saw a perimeter. That's crazy.
That was.
This guy got a gold sheen do-rag and he gets him off. All right. Hey, bro, I don't want no final calls. Leave me alone.
You just asked me a very crazy question. It wasn't egregious. It wasn't even in context.
And then I attacked you.
And then you attack me and asked a real sexual question for no reason.
Do you think Herb Jones' attitude or is rubbing off on a team? His attitude, his aura towards defense, right? Because I'm saying, like, you saw BI block a 3 tonight. Like, I don't really remember, you know what I'm saying? BI, I'm not saying he didn't give effort, but I'm saying like contesting that aggressively, you know what I'm saying, on the perimeter on a jumper.
Do you think maybe it's the culture he's around right now?
Yeah.
No, I mean, seriously, like all of a sudden, like tonight, he's like really engaged, and like he blocks, he's active defensively. I mean, I thought he could have had at least 6 to 8 rebounds. I think there was a couple times Jaren Jackson stole a couple of rebounds, but he just seemed really more engaged, more energetic tonight. Man, it's just one game though,
that was one blemish, I guess, on this game tonight. Was like there was a play at the end on the where Puerto Rico was trying to score. Paolo Banchero got a block. Jalen Brunson contested. They miss a layup, and Puerto Rico ends up scoring. Steve Kerr ends up just calling a timeout. It's like, you motherfuckers got to get back and rebound.
That's the difference right there.
Yo, like
right
that's
there.
Willie not cursing?
Oh, I'm cursing. I don't care about that no more.
No. I was saying, he said that's the difference.
That's
like,
the difference.
Willie not.
Oh, yeah. Steve Kerr, like you got to get back, and I think hopefully that is the point where Brandon has to, like, you have to tell the Pelicans what the standard is. Hopefully he learns what that standard is playing around all of these guys. And this level of intellect from the coaching staff. Like, no, you bring the standard and you create that, because it's so much better when the players police themselves rather than the coaches.
That's a good point, Five. Because one of the things you learn in those type of settings is a lot about sacrifice. And if you wanna win at any level, if you have dreams of winning playoff series and have a chance to compete for a championship, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice something. You got to do things that maybe you don't want to do night to night, and play different roles, and and do different attack different elements that maybe isn't number one on your on your strength list. And that's what's interesting for a lot of these guys. In all honesty, everybody was playing defense for the most part. Everybody was flying around, right? When they really started to get into their bag and and transition, the ball started to move a lot more. It was a lot less sticky. Yeah, man. I mean, just I think about how that. Yeah. That's a little. Yeah. That's probably a little crazy. Yeah, you know what? Go somewhere else. Yeah.
I just want to say, I think the thing, man, he just passed it. He was like, fuck it.
Reset the offense.
I think what Five said is important though. Like, I think Bi got a he's in a space where the Pelicans really, there is no culture set. There is no foundation. Bi has a chance to come back to the team and mold the team into what he got from, what I'm saying, the coaching he's getting from the FIBA team, and he can kind of like extrapolate that and put them in a position where now look, I got the information, I'm disseminating it to y'all. Look, this is what we do. This is where we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's in order to reach certain levels, you got to have certain things. I'm like, Zach, what y'all doing?
I'm looking for glasses, bro. Go ahead. I thought I had.
Trying to learn. I'm learning new words. It's cool.
Come on, man.
What was the word there? Just one more time.
I'm passing.
Exactly. But no, I think that's really important. I think there's a lot of like foundational, people. Right? You got CJ that came from a different kind of culture, right? And then you got Willie Green that kind of wants to establish his own culture. And then you had Zion Brandon dealing with multiple ideas of what a culture is, and they're all trying to, essentially mixing this gumbo pot of culture, and they have to just create their own.
Five, I think you said something very important about players holding other players accountable and players coaching players, right? And like, I think that's the standard right there. And the Pelicans are somewhat missing that. There's no, I really, what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when things are going south, what's that?
It's halfway. They're halfway in, halfway out of it. Like, right.
And like, sometimes you want to see guys get in each other's faces and call and challenging each other. And so I'm interested to see what that kind of, if that carries from Team USA to the Pelicans, because it's a small part of the game, but I know exactly what you're talking about. The ball's being tipped around. There's a couple blocks, and there's two guys. Brandon's one, and I forget who the other one was at half court. Bridges, right? And right then and there, Kerr's like, nope, timeout. We're talking about this right now. Now that's something he's 4-time shoot. How many rings does he have?
4,
8, 9? No.
Total. Oh, I'm
sorry. Like I think 8 or 9.
Might have had double digits.
Yeah, a lot. Buku, all of them.
Yeah. That's the standard, and I think that's something that Brandon can really take from this team, and even Herb and Trey being around it for the last couple of weeks.
Hold on one second, Five. Did you call them halfway crooks?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm proud. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Nah, I just think like you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Like, we know what it looks like, and yeah, you can have a guy like CJ say this is the way we're gonna play, and it's all presented and it looks nice. And David Griffin's like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, this is what we're gonna do, but it doesn't match exactly what we've seen. I think the key is really Brandon. If Brandon says we're gonna play like this, that's the way they're gonna play. But he has to say it and he has to prove it. You can't have nights like this where you're not getting back in transition for a rebound. Yeah, you might be on a run. You might be on a 10-0 run. And if they get a layup, then cool. But you can't accept that. You can't accept it. At least play through it, because you don't know what the run is going to be like if you get back and you get that rebound and that turns into a transition 3. It almost feels like a 5-point swing rather than just a 2-point layup.
Can I feel like, first of all, rest in peace, Prodigy. I feel like in this
Justin has no idea what's going on right now. So go ahead.
So, Chris, I'm so glad you called that out. I mean, just so fucking up, right? And I heard my phone vibrate.
Has
But go
no
ahead.
idea what's going
Pause.
on. Go ahead.
I feel like, and this has only been one game and a couple scrimmages, right? But I feel like the Brandon that I'm seeing in international basketball, he seems to be playing at a quicker speed. He's not really pacing himself as much. Even when he caught it on he caught the ball on the perimeter and he made his move. Like usually he may hesitate, jab a couple times. He just going. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think really he coming
Yeah, I
into
mean,
his superpower. I think he's really, like we know he's great, and I'm sure he knows that he's great or how great he can be. But I think that he's probably had some games against some guys in that camp that really like showed him like, yo, I'm me, like no bullshit, but I've been me. But now it's time to show the world. And again, this is a world
Literally.
stage game that we play, we playing on. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not a local. You know what I'm saying? Like granted, he playing for the Pels, but like he really playing for the country at this point. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's time to elevate.
yeah. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Both y'all well said. Chris, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to add. We talked a little bit about Jalen Brunson, Chris, and I guess to wrap
Why
it
you
up, who
made
did
that
you like?
face? Why you making that face though?
I I do not like watching Jalen Brunson playing basketball unless I mean he can do it in a New York Knicks jersey. It works. Like they need the offense and it's fun in certain settings and I loved it in Dallas. It is I don't enjoy watching Jalen. Listen, man, if I could, I would just fast forward until Halliburton gets into the game or Brandon or Ed has the ball in their hands. Watching Brunson, I don't enjoy it. It's
Okay.
not fun.
I mean, we literally, yeah, we all agree it was tough.
Halliburton's fantastic though, man. Like I
Oh.
would. Halliburton makes you want
And what about
to like
Reeves?
go play
We talk about
basketball.
Reeves. Yeah, and Reeves.
Can do it all. Can pretty much do it all. Like offensively, Austin's interesting, man, because um he he seems to be to really understand when he has a really good understanding to know when it's time for him to kind of freestyle and when it's time for him to just be a part of the offense and the play that's set up. And that's not easy for some. You see a lot of dudes like Brunson, for example, that just take shots that out of rhythm, take shots that don't look like um even when it's isolated, it just looks uncomfortable. Everything that I watch Austin do, it looks like not only did he's put a lot of time in it, there's no experimenting, or it was like, all right, they needed him to create this. Also, a really good passer. Um, yeah, but I mean, Halliburton looks amazing, man. What he had
Yeah.
13? Like he put up like regular season assist numbers in
Yeah.
like 20 minutes. He's crazy,
He's
man.
ridiculous. Yeah. Him, and
Yeah,
then we talked about Ant, who I thought was the best player on the court tonight. He was
that's
fantastic.
that's no surprise. I like one of the things I think all of you guys mentioned about accountability. And I think one of the things that I really didn't think about when CJ and Larry both arrived, or even like last season, we talked about how okay, well, you needed those two individuals, and there were others, Jonas and company, that were gonna hold guys accountable and set tones, put leadership values in place. Now I started thinking, well, I mean, how many winning teams have that type of setup where tones are set and leadership is instilled through their third and eighth best player and it's successful, right? It typically has to come from one or two for it to really work.
Mm.
And Brandon seems to be the guy who has the most, I guess, the larger array of experiences now between him and Zion, and really from what the team tells you to being the only one between him and Zion who's been in the playoffs, who's been in a playing game, been in these kind of environments, and now playing with Team USA and playing around, with a goal of playing games that mean something around championship coaches, not just one championship coach, right? Championship coaches, Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr and company, which is incredible. Like And that's really great. I think for him to bring back to hopefully tap into. We talk about what kind of leader he is. I think there's another step that he can and needs to take in that category as well as being a leader. Maybe this is something that continues to build off of that.
And then just to add one more point on that, I really feel like this experience, like Chris said, the experience, dog, like life is experiences. Like that's really what it is. Life, you get experiences, you reach certain stepping stools, you get pedigrees in certain areas. Brandon can take this experience, and now, like, I'm interested in him coming back to this situation here and being able to like hold Zion accountable.
Damn. All three just made incredible points right there.
You think? Do you? I'm freestyling here, but does anyone think? Can anyone imagine Brandon being in that element around all those players outside of his teammates, being around those coaches and having like small conversations with them about how he should look to get the best out of Zion? Yes. Can you imagine those type of conversations happening? Five.
I'm sure. I mean, look at this. Eric Spoelstra was out there doing basketball drills with Paolo Banchero pregame. It's almost like the top guy doing the low level things. And when you have that, like, they're gonna have like real dialogue, because usually it's not like the head coach that you have like the most, your relationship with. It's the guys that your player development.
Facts.
Your player development is Ty Lue. Oh, like
crazy.
Like, that's crazy to even think about. So you get to have like, because Ty Lue's a guy, like, he wants to know who you are, right? So you're gonna get like really deep about certain things. I'm pretty sure Ty Lue has a relationship with Jerry Stackhouse, so it's gonna kind of bridge that gap. I'm like, okay, well, what is it, Brandon? What do you want? I'm pretty sure he's gonna ask the same question he probably asked Kawhi and Paul George. What do you want out of this? And hopefully he gets to the point like, hey, I want to be this. Okay, cool. Let me help you try to be that, and also be better for your team, because y'all can't seem to stay healthy. And these coaches talk. I'm pretty sure they know. So I hopefully that Brandon's in this position where he's around all of this wealth of knowledge. He kind of brings something in and also learns more about himself too in this.
Yeah, I mean, half of Steve Kerr's staff is now with the Pelicans, and Willie Green and Collins and analytic guys and all that stuff. I saw
Steve Kerr run elbow. Like I saw it. Like
it's some of the same stuff that you're seeing.
Exact thing.
Yeah, I just think these are all good things that Brandon can take from this. And I don't even know, when do they play next? Did they already leave the country? Is this their last game on U.S. soil?
I thought they had
because they play Saturday, huh?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look at the schedule, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on Brandon Ingram and Team USA's victory over Puerto Rico. As always, sponsored by Company Burger, located at 4600 Ferret Street. We will see y'all on Sunday night.